on a conference in Cairo. I met also Caroline Brac de la Pierre. She's coming from France, where she lives, but she is originally from Algeria. And I will give you to introduce yourself because you do that better than me.
Okay, I'm the director of the Mediterranean Women's Fund. And so I will talk a bit later about this fund, but you want me first to talk about my intervention. Okay?
In fact, your expose was really touchy for me and important because you nicely had divided the main problem that in these days are any citizen of the world, in fact, not just the women, is getting every day. So these days, human beings are facing two great divided threats.
Yes.
Yes. You are saying?
Yes, I was saying that there were two threats. The one threat is the destruction on our bodies, on our land, our families, houses, but also our climate, for instance. And this is by the means of the new technologies. Now we found new technologies who are very, very destroying, and like the drones, but like also the nanotechnologies, because now nanotechnologies, everything begins to be done with nanotechnologies, and nobody really knows how it works, but it is even in the makeup for women, cosmetics. So, and there are also genetically modified organisms, for instance. So now this is one threat we have, which is a physical destruction, and the other threat is much more psychological or mental destruction. This is by the means of the brainwashing by religions, because now the religions are more and more fundamentalist, and so the way they are acting is really by brainwashing, and also the market with advertising. And I want also to say, because it's something that we haven't also really reflect on, but for instance, Facebook, when you are on Facebook, okay, it's very nice, you can reach hundreds of friends, but in the meantime, you give them all your information, all the information about you, and then they will give it to the advertisers. They will use it, for the publicity. And they target you. They try to understand what does this woman like, what does the people of this age like. So we are going to emphasize on that. So it's really something you don't have any control on, and not even you don't have the control. They are taking the control of your mind.
By your permission.
With your permission, yes. I mean, for religion, like for the market, they are doing that with your permission.
But you are aware that such attitude, because I agree with you, that such attitude in the public isn't welcome. And normally, regular people tells me, for example, that you talk just fairy tales. That doesn't exist. They doesn't see what does it really do in general, because they are just looking for commodity that they have because they are using Facebook or some cosmetics or some devices, modern technology.
Yes, that's true, but it is exactly the brainwashing I'm talking about, because finally we cannot even reflect. We are in a world nowadays where we don't have debate. You just have to swallow what the television is just giving you. You have to swallow what the religion is giving you. But there were no spaces of debate. Those spaces have really...
For individual choice, in fact.
Yes, for individual choice, for people to try to understand what's going on, for instance, for analysis. There are very few now. I mean, you have some researchers, but people don't read what they are writing. And you have... hopefully some organizations, human rights organizations, environmental organizations who are trying to raise the awareness of the people. But it's very difficult. So as we have those two kind of threats, what can we do? We, as human beings who want to build a world with peace and equality, just social justice. So the only way, that's what I was talking in the conference, the only way I think the only issue that we have is really to organize ourselves very, very well. I mean, if we were going back to the beginning, I mean, even if we are already organized more or less, people, some are well organized, some less, but we didn't think of our organization as a mean for this building. We just use it, but it's not, I mean, it's really something that we have to change, a way we have to change our relationship to our organization. The organization are absolutely needed if we want to face those threats, because we have now to build
self-estimation, in fact, greater.
Yes, but not only we have to make a kind of in French we say rapport de force. In English, I think it's force. You know, I mean, we have to balance what the power is, existing power. So for that we have to be very, very strong. So how can we be very strong? We have of course to strengthen our organization. So we have to make some capacity building, capacity reinforcing of each of us. Because of, this is also a point, for women, the self-esteem is very low. And as if it is very low, women do not think big. And even the women's organization, they are always
focused only on a short term.
Yes, they are focusing on
only one problem. Yeah.
Yes, that it is, and also they would say, okay, they would go, but they would go in the front. They can be very, I mean, they can be very courageous, but they will never take advantage of it. As soon as they're in the front, if there are other people coming in the front, they will let the place. So this is something we also have to work on, and so it's inside our organizations. And inside our organization, we really have to reinforce our self-esteem first, and then also to try to help other organizations to emerge. If we see that if we find committed young women, we have to help them to make their own organization, or they can come in ours. But I mean, if they are in another country, another city, we have to help, because I think we need to organize. That's all, because otherwise we're going to be totally crushed by those.
Not effective, in fact.
More than not effective. More crushed, I think. Totally destroyed.
I just wanted to point it that every organization is talking about money that they are needing for their work.
Yes.
And you choose especially to deal with that side of the problem of activism.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, yes, okay, to do that, what do we need? We need money.
Yeah, that's right.
So the money is what we understood is that women's organizations are very poor. And they don't really dare ask for too much money. They ask just for what they need for the project. They don't even ask for their own salaries, for instance. Most of them are working for free. They work as volunteer. And they have a family, they have a work. I mean, it's really something we are asking, again, a burden more on women's shoulder. So this is something that the Women's Fund have found, and they have said, okay, we have to exist. Activist women have decided to create Women's Fund, saying, okay, we're part of the women's movement, so that's what we're going to do. And so there are 40 Women's Fund at the international level. I'm not talking about the American Women's Fund, because in America you have a lot of little women's fund, but not of them would say they are feminists. So I'm talking about the feminist one. And our work is to collect money to help women's organizations to make their project and for the core functioning. Most of us, we know that it's the problem is that for the functioning that the women's organization cannot find money. So we know that we need to have people paid to do some work. So this is something also that is very clear among Women's Fund. And of course, it's also to strengthen the networks between the women's organization widely. And the other thing that we do is that we are building an argumentation to make women give for women. Because we noticed, there are surveys that note that women do not give to women. Women give to a lot of, they give for the children, they give for peace, they give for environment, they give for everything, but they do not give for women.
Or even if they are giving for the woman, that's only for organizations that are fighting breast cancer, for example.
Yes,
because
true.
It's a publicly
health.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the other hand, we can change those crucial things through those organizations.
Yes.
I'm sorry that I'm interventing, but that's my opinion. That's practice in my country. If I came and asked money for some kind of political women enforcement or for work, I can find those women who will pay $1.
Yes,
so that's also my experience.
Exactly. Yes. It's exactly what.
And how do you find those women who are prepared to give some money for the women
we
cause?
think it's not so easy. So that's that. I mean, it's really it's a work. I mean, we are not in a women organization. We are in the. It's a kind of organization we make to try to raise consciousness
on that subject.
Yes, on that subject for women and men, but especially women. We say, okay, that's your rights. That's your rights that those women are defending everywhere. So if you are agreeing with their work, you have to help them. And so, but because they agree, I mean, there are women who are for women's rights, but it's all the problem of the self-esteem. Women do not give for their rights. They give for the rights of others, for everything. But for their rights, say, they are not so important. And it's really in the two cases. You have the women's organization and you have the women donors, the individual donors that could help. And in the two cases, the women's organization do not dare ask for money. And the woman potential donors, they won't give because if it's for women, it's not so important. They are not so important. So it's really to themselves even. So then they don't give. So it's really something on which I am working a lot, in fact, because I think it's I'm a psychologist also, so I think it's very interesting what's going on in women's head.
Really, I hope that you will be really successful in your work.
I hope too. I think we all need it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to you.